Speak with Intention, The Art of Saying Less but Meaning More. Written and published by StorySteps to Audiobook. Have you ever noticed that the most powerful speakers don't use a lot of words? They capture your attention with their clarity and purpose. In a world filled with noise and endless talking, the real strength comes from saying less, but meaning more. Imagine being able to get people's attention without shouting, inspire them without long speeches, and leave a strong impression with just a few well-chosen words. What if the key to truly connecting with others and making your voice heard was learning to speak with focus and meaning? Stick around, because today we're exploring the art of saying less, but meaning more. Get ready to change how you communicate, one intentional word at a time. Chapter 1. The Science of Silence. In today's fast-moving world, full of noise and distraction, silence might seem strange, but silence can actually be one of your strongest communication tools. This chapter explores how silence affects our minds and emotions. Psychologically, silence gives both the speaker and the listener time to think and understand. That space builds deeper connections. Emotionally, it creates a sense of calm and control, making you seem more confident and composed. Using silence on purpose draws attention to what you say next. When you pause before replying or making a point, you show you're thoughtful and in control. This not only helps people listen better, it also gives your words more strength. Rather than rushing to fill every moment with speech, you'll learn to use pauses in a way that leaves a strong impact. This chapter will show you how to use silence effectively, so your voice is heard, even when you're not speaking. Silence also gives others space to talk and share their thoughts, making them feel heard and respected. In conversations, we often feel the need to fill every pause. But those pauses, they can lead to deeper discussions. Silence can also keep you from saying something you might regret. It gives you time to choose your words carefully. By understanding the science of silence, you'll become more present and more attentive in your conversations, something others will notice and appreciate. As you practice these techniques daily, you'll see how silence can improve your communication and strengthen your relationships. Chapter 2. Less is More. The Art of Precision. We live in a world overflowing with information. That's why the skill of saying less, while still sharing a powerful message, is incredibly valuable. The art of precision is about speaking clearly and effectively, with fewer words. Many times we talk too much or explain things over and over, thinking it will help. But this often causes confusion or overload. Being clear and concise helps your message stand out and makes it easier for others to understand. The idea of less is more isn't just about shorter sentences. It's about focusing on what really matters. It means finding the heart of your message and removing anything unnecessary. When you master precision, you quickly get to the point and make a lasting impression. It's like editing a great piece of writing. You cut out the extra stuff, so your best ideas can shine. Speaking with precision makes it easier for people to follow your thoughts. Your message feels clear and purposeful. This style of speaking saves time and shows respect for your listener. By simplifying your words, you allow your message to hit harder. When you stop over-explaining and get comfortable with saying less, your everyday conversations, presentations, and writing all improve. Speaking precisely makes you sound confident, clear, and in control. Every word has a purpose. Every word adds value. It's not about holding back. It's about making every word matter and creating a big impact with less effort. Chapter 3. Listening to speak. Better good communication isn't just about speaking, it's also about listening. The best speakers are great listeners too. When you really listen, you learn more about people's needs, their thoughts, and their feelings. That helps you respond in a way that's more meaningful. Listening builds trust. It makes people feel heard and respected. It also helps you connect more deeply with others. When you truly listen, you're not just waiting to talk. You're focused on understanding the other person. You notice not just their words, but their tone, body language, and facial expressions. These subtle clues help you shape your response in a way that really speaks to them. Listening carefully also gives you time to think before you answer. That helps you avoid reacting too quickly or saying something you didn't mean. Taking a moment to reflect allows you to give thoughtful replies that strengthen the conversation. By paying attention and listening fully, you invite others to share more. This creates better, more meaningful conversations. It also shows respect and helps people feel comfortable. Opening up. This way of listening doesn't just improve your conversations, it makes others more willing to listen to you in return. Your thoughts and opinions become clearer when you take the time to listen and understand others. And as you do, you'll notice. You can speak with more clarity, confidence, and impact. The more you listen, the better you'll be at speaking. Because your words will come from understanding, not just opinion. Learning to balance listening and speaking improves your communication and helps you build stronger relationships, whether in personal conversations or professional settings. Chapter 4. The weight of every word you say matters. Understanding how your words affect others is the key to speaking well. In today's world, where words are often used carelessly, choosing them with care makes your message stronger and more real. Each word has the power to inspire, influence, or even hurt. So it's important to think carefully about how you use them. Before you speak, consider the meaning behind your words. Do they match your values? Do they reflect what you truly want to say? When you choose words that are honest, clear, and thoughtful, your message becomes more powerful and more meaningful. The goal isn't just to speak, but to speak in a way that truly connects with your audience. The weight of words shows when you speak with purpose. Don't talk just to fill the silence or to sound impressive. Focus on adding real value to the conversation. The fewer words you use, the more impact they can have. This also helps reduce confusion and misunderstanding. The way you say your words, your tone and delivery, adds even more power. A simple word can feel deep and strong when spoken with the right tone, emotion, and timing. Matching your tone with your message helps ensure your words are understood the way you meant them. This creates a stronger connection with your audience. Learning to use each word wisely means knowing that good communication isn't about saying a lot. It's about saying the right things in the right way, with confidence. When you do this, your words leave a lasting effect and can even inspire positive change. Chapter 5. Mastering Nonverbal Communication, Words are powerful, but they're only part of how we communicate. Nonverbal cues, like body language, facial expressions, gestures, and tone, often say more than words ever could. Learning to use these silent signals can help you connect better, deliver your message more clearly, and show confidence and trustworthiness. Whenever you speak, your body is sending messages. Your posture, eye contact, hand movements, even how you sit or stand, all affect how people receive your words. For instance, crossed arms might show discomfort. An open stance, that shows confidence. Being aware of these signals helps make sure your body is saying the same thing as your words. Eye contact is one of the strongest forms of nonverbal communication. It shows honesty, attention, and connection. When you make good eye contact, whether with one person or a group, you make your message feel more real, more personal. But balance is key. Too little eye contact can seem nervous or dishonest. Too much? It might feel intense or overwhelming. The goal is to connect in a natural, thoughtful way. Facial expressions also matter. A lot. A smile shows warmth and friendliness. A frown can show concern or disagreement. Even small changes in your face can express how you feel. Often better than words ever could, knowing what your face is saying helps make sure it matches your message. Gestures are another helpful tool. When used with purpose, they can highlight important points and make your message more lively and memorable. For example, using your hands to show size or to stress a key idea can help people understand better. But if you move your hands too much, it can distract your listener. So use gestures with care and control. Your tone of voice, how you say something, is just as important as what you say. A calm, steady tone builds trust. A raised voice might show urgency or frustration. Your tone should always match your message. A soft voice can show care, while a firm tone can show authority. Being aware of your tone helps you communicate more clearly and with more impact. It's also important to pay attention to the body language of others. By noticing how people move, their posture, their facial expressions, you can sense how they're really feeling, sometimes even more than their words reveal. If someone looks away, crosses their arms, or fidgets, they might be feeling unsure, uncomfortable, or closed off. In moments like that, changing your body language can make a big difference. Try leaning in just a little. Relax your posture. Soften your voice. These small shifts can help others feel more at ease and open the door to a better, more comfortable conversation. Nonverbal communication is about both sending the right signals and reading the signals others send. Noticing these subtle cues helps you respond with more kindness, patience, and care. It's a skill that deepens your understanding of others and strengthens your relationships, both personal and professional. Mastering nonverbal communication takes awareness, practice, and patience. But once you build this skill, you'll start to see real changes in how well you connect with people. Your interactions will feel more natural, more real, more you, because you won't rely on words alone. You'll be speaking through your body language, your expressions, and your presence. And when you use nonverbal communication well, you inspire trust, you connect more deeply, and your impact in every conversation grows stronger. Chapter 6. Influence through curiosity. Influence isn't always about what you say. It often starts with the questions you ask. Curiosity is a powerful tool. It invites others to talk. It helps you understand people better. And it opens the door to deeper, more meaningful connections. When you show real curiosity, you make people feel valued. They can tell you're truly interested in their thoughts, their ideas, their world, and that all creates influence. Because when people feel seen and heard, they're more open, more willing to listen, more likely to grow through the conversation. Curiosity doesn't just gather facts, it builds trust, it creates teamwork, it shows respect. When you ask questions that make others think deeply, you show that you see them as equals, not just someone with answers, but someone whose voice matters. This builds rapport, and when people feel safe to open up, the conversation becomes richer and more honest. Curiosity also shifts the spotlight. It moves the focus off you and onto them. Instead of dominating the conversation, you give space. You create room for others to express themselves, and when they do, they feel important. They feel truly heard. That kind of listening creates balance. It builds mutual respect, and it makes your influence much more natural and lasting. Curiosity can also spark new ideas, better thinking, stronger problem solving, open-ended questions like, what if we tried something different? Or, how could we improve this? They invite creativity. They make people think outside the box. They move the conversation forward, and often lead to breakthroughs you wouldn't find on your own. When you ask questions that challenge people to reflect, you help them see new possibilities, new angles, new answers. You help them grow. And in that process, you grow too. Being curious also helps you understand what really matters to someone, their goals, their struggles, their motivations. With that insight, you can respond in ways that are more thoughtful, more caring, and more effective. For example, at work, asking about someone's goals or challenges can help you give the kind of support they actually need. In your personal life, being curious helps you understand the people you love and support them more deeply. Curiosity is especially powerful during difficult conversations. Instead of trying to win an argument, ask to understand. Try questions like, how do you see this? Or, can you help me understand your thinking? These kinds of questions take the heat out of conflict and open the door to cooperation. They invite calm, they show respect, and they build bridges. And perhaps most importantly, curiosity empowers others. When you invite someone to share their story, their experience, their truth, you give them the space to speak. You give them the gift of feeling seen, and that builds confidence, self-worth, and trust. People open up when they know their voice matters. And when that happens, you get stronger teamwork, better conversations, and deeper, more meaningful relationships. Effective questioning isn't just about asking. It's about being present and thoughtful. It takes effort to ask the right question at the right time. You have to pay attention, listen closely, and respond in ways that move the conversation forward. So instead of rushing to speak, pause. Really take in what was just said. Then ask a question that deepens the discussion. That's how conversations become more meaningful, more insightful, more real. As you grow in your ability to influence through curiosity, your conversations will become more engaging, more productive, more powerful. Open-ended questions will shape you into a stronger communicator, a wiser leader, and a better problem solver, because curiosity, it's the key that unlocks new ideas, builds strong bonds, and inspires change. And the more you practice it, the more you'll see that curiosity can guide a conversation in ways words alone never could. Chapter 7. The silence between the words in most conversations. We focus so much on what's being said that we forget the power of what's not. Silence, those quiet moments between the words, they matter. More than we often realize. Silence carries meaning. It builds tension. It gives people space to reflect and lets important ideas settle. Learning how to use the silence between words is a powerful communication skill. It makes you a better speaker. But more than that, it helps you speak with intention. Now, silence is often seen as awkward, uncomfortable, but it's actually one of your strongest tools. When you pause, you give others time to absorb your message, to really hear you, that quiet moment. It invites reflection, and reflection makes your words more powerful. Instead of rushing to fill every second with sound, let silence work for you, because silence keeps your message lingering. In the bow, mind of the listener, it makes it memorable. And here's something else. Silence can build anticipation. When you pause right before an important point, people lean in, they focus, they prepare themselves for something meaningful. That simple pause, it creates suspense, and it holds attention. Silence also gives you time, in fast-paced or high-pressure conversations. It's easy to feel like you have to respond instantly. But when you embrace silence, you give yourself room to breathe, to think clearly, to choose your words with care. And that leads to better, more thoughtful responses. Not ones made in haste, but ones made with purpose. In moments of conflict, silence can be especially powerful. When emotions run high, words can become weapons, but a brief pause can calm the heat. It gives everyone space to reset, to think, to understand. Silence can prevent things from escalating. It invites clarity, and often, it leads to peace. And here's something important. Using silence shows confidence. When you pause and speak calmly, you show that you're not afraid of the silence. You don't need to fill space just to be heard. You're in control. You're letting your words land. And that quiet confidence, it makes people listen. Because silence, it's not just the absence of words, it's a form of communication. A moment of silence can say, I'm with you. I'm thinking. I understand. Sometimes, it can say more than words ever could. In professional settings, silence can be persuasive. After asking a question or making a strong point, leave a pause. Let your message hang in the air. Give the other person time to consider, to respond. Sometimes, they'll reveal more than they planned. And that insight can change everything. The more comfortable you get with silence, the more powerful your words will become. You'll start to notice the depth it adds to your conversations, the calm it brings to tense moments, the connection it creates when no words are needed at all. So whether you're leading a team, speaking to a friend, or navigating a tough situation, remember this: the pauses between your words. Hold. Real power. Learn to use them well, and you'll transform how you communicate. With more intention, more emotion, and more impact. Chapter 8. Speaking with purpose. Aligning your words with your values. True power in communication doesn't come from saying more, It comes from saying what matters, from speaking with purpose. When your words match your values, they carry a different kind of strength. People feel the truth in them. They hear your honesty, and they trust you more. Speaking with purpose means thinking about what you say, how you say it, and why you're saying it. It means every word reflects something deeper, something real. You're not just filling space. You're not just making noise. You're sharing something meaningful, something that aligns with who you are. When you speak with purpose, your message becomes clear, your voice becomes grounded, and your presence becomes memorable. Because people can sense when you're speaking from the heart. They can tell when your words are backed by values, by belief, by something solid and true. It's not about being perfect. It's about being authentic. And when you combine that with curiosity, with silence, with self-control, your words will do more than just communicate. They'll connect. They'll inspire. They'll lead. Speaking with purpose. It's one of the most powerful gifts you can give yourself and others, because when your voice reflects your values, you don't just speak, you stand for something. To speak with purpose, you need to understand your values, goals, and what matters most to you. Before speaking, pause and ask yourself, are you trying to inform, inspire, or persuade? Are you sharing a belief or painting a vision for the future? When you're clear about your intention, your words become more powerful because they come from a place of purpose and passion. This way of communicating also helps you focus in a noisy world. With so many messages and opinions flying around, it's easy to lose track and speak without thinking. But when you stay true to your purpose, your words rise above the noise. They're focused, clear, and meaningful, cutting straight to the heart of what matters. Speaking in line with your values doesn't just help you feel grounded, it also builds trust. When people see that your words come from a place of honesty and conviction, they're more likely to pay attention and connect with you. Authentic communication shows you're sincere and dependable, qualities that people value deeply in both personal and work relationships. When you consistently speak from your values, others know they can trust you. Your words reflect your true intentions, making you someone others can rely on. And when challenges or disagreements come your way, having that strong foundation gives you confidence. If your words reflect what you truly believe, you can stand by them, even when others disagree. Rather than feeling defensive or unsure, you'll be able to stay calm and firm because your message is rooted in what matters most to you. This strength is especially valuable in leadership and advocacy, where staying true to your purpose is essential for influencing and inspiring others. Purposeful speech is also a powerful tool for influence. When you speak with conviction and a clear sense of purpose, it builds confidence in your listeners. People are naturally drawn to those who speak with clarity and intention. It signals leadership and self-assurance. Whether you're delivering a professional presentation, leading a community dialogue, or having a personal talk, speaking with purpose increases your impact and inspires action. A vital part of speaking with purpose is also knowing how to listen. Purposeful communication is a two-way process. When you listen carefully to others, their thoughts, concerns, and values, you can better align your message to connect with them. Active listening ensures your words are not only authentic to you, but also meaningful to your audience. This alignment leads to more productive, respectful, and effective conversations. Another important element of purposeful speech is the ability to simplify complex ideas. When your communication is grounded in your values and purpose, You naturally focus on what truly matters. You eliminate unnecessary jargon, avoid filler words, and cut through distractions. Instead, you speak with clarity and precision, making your message easier to understand and more relatable. This is particularly important in leadership, where motivating others often requires expressing complex ideas in simple, inspiring ways. The impact of speaking with purpose goes beyond the moment. Your words, when aligned with your values, carry a lasting sense of integrity. People remember those who speak with authenticity, and your message is more likely to leave a strong impression, influence how others think, and inspire them to take meaningful action. Purposeful speech is also a way to create positive change. Whether you're advocating for a cause, uniting people around a goal, or encouraging someone to grow, speaking with purpose empowers you to make a difference. Your words can uplift, motivate, and spark change. When your speech reflects a higher goal, you become a source of inspiration, helping others view things differently and act on their own values. Speaking with purpose means being clear, sincere, and intentional in how you communicate. When you take time to reflect on what you believe and ensure your words mirror those beliefs, you develop a communication style that is impactful, powerful, and full of meaning. This type of speech not only increases your personal effectiveness, it also helps you build stronger relationships, earn trust, and inspire change. Whether in your career, your community, or your personal life, speaking with purpose can transform how you connect with the world. Chapter 9. The Power of Silence. In leadership is often linked with speaking up, making decisions, and taking control. But some of the most effective leaders understand the power of silence. Real leadership isn't always about being the loudest voice or giving orders. It's about creating space for reflection, encouraging input, and empowering others to contribute. Silence in leadership allows for deeper listening, thoughtful observation, and an environment where others feel respected and heard. Using silence strategically can boost collaboration, build trust, and lead to wiser decisions. One of the main ways silence strengthens leadership is through active listening. Great leaders know that solving problems and understanding their team requires truly listening, not just hearing. Silence allows leaders to fully absorb what others are saying without the urge to jump in too soon. By staying quiet while someone speaks, a leader gives them the chance to fully express themselves and share their concerns without interruption. This kind of patience builds trust and signals respect, making people feel valued and understood. Leaders who use silence in conversations also invite broader participation. Pausing after a statement or question gives team members time to think and speak up, especially those who may be hesitant. Sometimes it's the silence itself that makes people feel comfortable enough to share their views. In meetings, a well-placed pause can lead to richer discussions and more creative problem-solving. Silence is also a powerful tool for self-reflection. Leaders need moments of stillness to think things through before making choices. Instead of reacting in the moment, leaders who embrace silence take time to consider the situation, weigh different perspectives, and choose the best path forward. This thoughtful approach often results in better outcomes and shows others that decisions are made with care. A leader who pauses to reflect appears steady and deliberate, which builds confidence among the team. Remaining calm and composed in high-pressure moments is another way silence benefits leadership. Leaders who can stay silent in tense situations project stability and control. They aren't shaken by chaos, but instead create a sense of calm that helps the team stay grounded. During a crisis, silence allows leaders to assess things carefully and respond in a clear, measured way. This quiet strength can deeply influence team morale, encouraging focus and resilience. Silence also fosters a culture of mutual respect. When leaders use silence to give others space to speak or to reflect on what's been said, they show they value different voices. By talking less and listening more, they help build a team culture where everyone's input matters. This can lead to better communication, stronger teamwork, and a deeper sense of trust. People are more motivated and engaged when they feel truly listened to. Leaders can also use silence to guide behavior. Instead of always giving direct orders, a well-timed silence can prompt a team to think for themselves and take responsibility. When a leader doesn't rush to fill every pause, they give others room to reflect on their choices. This helps team members grow, become more self-reliant, and take greater ownership of their actions. This can be especially effective when a leader wants to encourage problem-solving and innovation. By allowing space for others to think independently, a leader fosters autonomy and accountability within the team. Silence is a powerful tool for setting boundaries. Leaders who are comfortable with silence can assert themselves without being overly vocal or confrontational. When a team member speaks out of turn or becomes disruptive, a well-placed silence can serve as a nonverbal cue that signals the need for respect or a change in behavior. This pause allows the moment to speak for itself, avoiding direct confrontation while reinforcing mutual respect. In negotiations or discussions with outside parties, silence can also be a strategic tool of influence. Pausing after making a point or request creates anticipation and pressure. Silence gives the other party time to think, often prompting them to speak first. This can lead to valuable insights or concessions, helping the leader better understand their position and negotiate more effectively. The power of silence in leadership lies in creating space for others to speak, to reflect, and to take thoughtful action. Leaders who master silence aren't passive or disengaged. They are deliberate and intentional in their communication. They recognize that silence isn't empty, it's full of potential. By using it wisely, leaders can strengthen team relationships, make better decisions, and inspire greater trust and respect. Silence, when used with purpose, becomes one of the most powerful yet underutilized tools in leadership, enhancing effectiveness and impact. Chapter 10. The Silence of Impact. Transforming your communication as you've discovered. Silence is not merely the absence of sound. It's a potent, active force in communication. Mastering silence can completely transform how you connect with others, shape your message, and leave a lasting impression. Its true power lies in amplifying your words, allowing for deeper, more meaningful communication. Used intentionally, silence sharpens clarity, adds depth, and enhances the resonance of your message. One of its greatest strengths is helping your words be heard more clearly. In a world overwhelmed by constant chatter, meaningful pauses give your audience time to absorb and reflect. This makes your message more memorable and impactful, especially in crucial conversations or speeches. Speaking less while using silence effectively boosts the strength of your words. It enhances the quality of your interactions, inviting others into the conversation. By stepping back, you give others the space to express themselves, promoting a sense of mutual respect and deeper connection. People are more inclined to trust and listen when they feel heard. Silence also helps you think more clearly. Rushed speech can overwhelm both you and your audience. Pausing allows your thoughts to settle and your words to be chosen with care. You become more deliberate, cutting through the noise and focusing on what matters. Thoughtful pauses lead to clearer, more impactful communication. Additionally, silence communicates beyond words. It can convey empathy, understanding, disagreement, or respect, all without a single word. For example, listening quietly after someone shares something emotional communicates compassion, Silence becomes a powerful nonverbal expression, strengthening connections where words might fall short. Strategic silence also enhances your presence and authority. Those who can command silence are seen as composed, thoughtful, and confident. Pauses show your words carry weight and that you are in control. This boosts your credibility, helping you guide conversations more effectively. Silence is a key element of emotional intelligence. Knowing when not to speak shows awareness of others' feelings and needs. In emotionally charged situations, silence offers space to process, reflect, and respond with care. It prevents impulsive reactions, helps manage tension, and allows others to speak. This emotional discipline strengthens your communication style and makes you more empathetic. In conflict, silence can de-escalate tension. Instead of fueling the situation with more words, silence offers calm, helping everyone gather their thoughts. This pause reduces defensiveness and opens the door for more productive conversations and possible resolution. Silence also empowers others. In group settings, leaders who use silence create opportunities for others to speak. A thoughtful pause after a question or comment encourages participation and allows people to reflect before responding. Valuable contributions often come from those who might otherwise remain quiet. When you use silence strategically, it shows that you value others' perspectives, helping to foster a culture of openness and inclusion. This approach creates a more collaborative and dynamic environment where everyone's voice is heard. The silence of impact isn't just useful in formal settings like meetings or speeches. It can transform everyday communication. Whether you're having a casual chat with friends, a difficult talk with a family member, or addressing your team at work, using silence strategically makes your communication more effective. When you let the conversation flow naturally, pause to reflect before speaking, and leave space for others to share, you build deeper and more meaningful connections. Silence is a gift. It allows you to communicate with greater thoughtfulness and purpose. Its real power lies in its ability to enhance every part of your communication. It helps you speak with clarity and conviction, strengthens relationships, and fosters mutual respect and understanding. Whether you're leading, influencing, or simply having a conversation, silence is a powerful tool that can transform how you communicate and the impact you have on others. Mastering the art of silence unlocks the full potential of your voice, making your words not just heard, but felt, understood, and remembered. Chapter 11. Silence in the Digital Age. The art of saying less online in a world dominated by instant communication, social media, and constant digital noise. Silence has become a rare and valuable skill. Today's digital age encourages us to always be available, responsive, and vocal. Yet, in this era of information overload, the power of silence online is more important than ever. When used intentionally, silence helps you reclaim your voice, protect your well-being, and communicate with greater clarity and purpose. The digital world evolves quickly, bringing a constant stream of content, social media posts, emails, text, messages, news alerts. This nonstop flow can lead to mental fatigue, overwhelm, and even a sense of helplessness. But digital silence doesn't mean disconnecting completely. It's about engaging with intention, choosing when to speak, when to listen, and when to step back. One of the most powerful ways to apply silence digitally is through mindful consumption. Instead of endlessly scrolling, reading every headline, or replying instantly, silence allows you to filter the noise and focus only on what matters. In this way, silence becomes an act of self-care, shielding your mind from a flood of data, distractions, and emotional triggers. It helps you build a healthier, more intentional relationship with technology. On social media, silence is a tool for protecting your peace and emotional balance. These platforms are designed to pull you in, encouraging instant reactions, comments, and opinions. But not every post or trend requires your input. Choosing silence means giving yourself permission not to engage with everything. You conserve your energy, avoid needless conflict, and create content that aligns with your values rather than reacting to everything you see. Silence also brings depth to digital communication. In a space where tone and context are often lost, thoughtful silence helps you respond more carefully. Instead of firing off a reply to a text or email, taking a pause gives you the chance to reflect and choose your words wisely. This prevents misunderstandings and fosters clearer, more respectful conversations, especially in professional or sensitive settings. In the digital world, silence can signal strength and confidence. Many people feel pressured to be loud, opinionated, and always online. But choosing not to speak in every discussion shows emotional intelligence. It means you're not avoiding conflict. You're practicing self-discipline, staying focused on what really matters to you. You're not reacting to trends. You're staying true to your values. Another crucial part of digital silence is learning to disconnect. We are constantly plugged in, often to the point of exhaustion. Taking time offline, whether for a few minutes, hours, or days, helps you reset and recharge. These pauses let you reflect, refocus, and protect your mental clarity. Silence becomes a tool for digital detox, freeing you from the constant need for validation through likes, comments, or messages. In content creation, silence also stands out. When everyone is talking, saying less can make your message more powerful. You don't need to post frequently just to stay visible. Instead, you can be more intentional, sharing fewer, more meaningful messages. Whether through a blog, social media post, or video, impactful content that adds real value builds deeper connections with your audience. Quality over quantity becomes your guiding principle. Silence is also essential for privacy and boundaries. Digital life often blurs personal and professional lines. The expectation to always be available can feel exhausting. By choosing when and how to engage, silence lets you reclaim control. You protect your time, your peace, and your space from becoming overwhelmed or invaded. Silence promotes mindfulness and presence in a digital world full of distractions. Instead of juggling tasks or chasing notifications, silence lets you focus fully on one thing at a time. Whether in a meeting, on a video call, or scrolling online, reducing distractions helps you be more present and intentional. You think more, clearly, connect more deeply, and make better decisions. Online silence also builds self-awareness. Moments of quiet, whether during a digital conversation or alone, away from screens, help you reconnect with your values and goals. You gain perspective, see your habits more clearly, and realign your digital behavior with what truly matters to you. Instead of reacting impulsively, you act with intention. Ultimately, digital silence is not about avoiding technology, it's about using it wisely. When you apply silence in your digital life, you reclaim your voice, protect your well-being, and communicate more powerfully. You find balance in a world that never pauses, and you create deeper, more meaningful digital relationships. In meetings and daily leadership, speaking up and sharing your ideas is often seen as essential. But many of history's greatest leaders have shown that real leadership power often lies in silence. Silence in leadership doesn't mean being passive or absent. It means using fewer words to create more impact. It helps build trust, give clear direction, and lead with purpose. When used wisely, silence becomes a tool that empowers others, strengthens your presence, and makes your communication more effective. One of the best ways to use silence in leadership is through active listening. Great leaders know that to lead, well, they must first understand what their team needs and feels. By staying silent and letting others speak freely, you show that their input matters. This shows respect and leads to more honest, meaningful conversations. When people feel truly heard, they trust more, work better with others, and take more responsibility. Listening without quickly responding helps build stronger, more connected teams. Silence also helps create a space where others feel comfortable sharing their ideas. In many workplaces, people are afraid to speak up because they fear being judged. When leaders stay silent after asking a question or making a point, it gives others time to think and respond. This kind of silence helps encourage open conversations, teamwork, and new ideas. It helps create a culture where everyone's voice matters and different ideas can grow. Another strength of silence is that it gives leaders time to think before deciding. Today's fast-paced world often pushes leaders to respond quickly, but fast decisions aren't always the best ones. Taking a silent pause helps leaders reflect, look at different sides, and choose actions that match the organization's values and goals. These quiet moments help leaders make smarter, more thoughtful choices that benefit the whole team. Silence also helps leaders show strength and confidence without needing to speak. Just being calm and steady, especially in tough moments, sends a strong message. A leader who can stay silent and composed shows that they are in control and not easily shaken. This calm confidence helps the team feel secure and trust in their leader's ability to handle anything. Leaders who use silence will often gain deep respect without saying a word. In tough or tense situations, silence is also useful for calming things down. Whether it's a disagreement between team members or a company crisis, reacting quickly can make things worse. Choosing silence gives time to think clearly, understand the issue, and respond with care. It helps cool emotions and shift the conversation from conflict to solutions. In these moments, silence becomes a path to peace and progress. Leaders can also use silence to help their team reflect and grow. When a leader talks less, their words carry more weight. People pay more attention, knowing the words are meaningful. Silence encourages people to think deeply about what's been said and how they can apply it to their work. Instead of always giving answers, silent leaders let the team figure things out. This builds confidence, skills, and a sense of ownership. Silence also brings focus and direction. Leaders who don't speak unless necessary show that only important things are worth saying. This reduces distractions and helps the team stay focused on what really matters. With less noise, people can work better and avoid confusion. Silence helps everyone stay on track with clear goals. In stressful situations, silence lets leaders show emotional strength. Leadership can be very demanding, and how you handle pressure affects the whole team. Instead of reacting with anger or stress, silent leaders stay calm. This steadiness makes the team feel safe and supported. When leaders manage their emotions through silence, they create a positive, strong work environment. Silence also builds trust and honesty. Leaders who talk too much can confuse their team or seem unreliable, especially if their words don't match their actions. Leaders who use silence wisely let their actions speak. They build trust by doing what they say and staying consistent. Silence gives them space to act clearly and truthfully. For leaders, silence can also be a way to care for themselves. Leading others can be exhausting. The need to always be active and responsive can lead to burnout. Taking quiet moments helps leaders rest, reflect, and regain focus. These silent breaks refresh the mind and body. A leader who is calm and rested can lead more effectively. Silence in leadership isn't about staying quiet just to be quiet. It's about using silence to communicate with purpose and clarity. Leaders who understand this can create trust, focus, and growth. Silence becomes a way to lead with intention, listen with care, and respond with wisdom. Saying less can often mean saying more, with greater meaning and the power to inspire. As we've explored, the power of saying less is not just about fewer words, it's about making a deeper impact. Silence is a tool for better connections, thoughtful communication, and personal growth. In a noisy world full of constant responses, silence reminds us of the strength found in calm thinking and purpose. By learning the art of silence, we become better listeners, understand others more deeply, and speak more clearly. Whether it's taking a pause to let words sink in, choosing not to speak when it's not needed, or giving others space to share, silence helps us connect on a deeper level. In our personal lives, silence helps us know ourselves better, stay balanced, and live with greater purpose. By allowing ourselves the space to be still, we give our minds a chance to reset, reflect, and make choices that truly match our values. Silence helps us step away from the noise of outside pressures and connect with our own inner voice. This connection gives us the power to live with more purpose and honesty. Silence becomes a strong tool for building trust, teamwork, and growth. Leaders who talk less but listen more create a culture filled with respect, creativity, and emotional awareness. They know that real leadership doesn't come from being the loudest, but from leading with quiet strength, patience, and care. In today's digital world, silence also protects us from the non-stop flood of information. It helps us focus, protect our peace of mind, and be more thoughtful in how we communicate. When we embrace silence online, we take control of how we show up digitally. We can avoid needless arguments and give more attention to what really matters in our online relationships. The power of saying less isn't about stopping communication. It's about making it better. It's about knowing when to speak and when to stay quiet, when to take action and when to pause. It's about understanding that the most powerful message is sometimes the one that isn't spoken at all. Silence isn't a sign of weakness. It's a sign of strength, calm, and deep respect for the value of words. As you move forward in life, remember that silence is a valuable tool you can use in any situation, whether you're talking with others, making important choices, or handling the challenges of modern life. Mastering the skill of saying less will help you speak with more meaning, purpose, and honesty. So, embrace silence and let it change how you speak